guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. Well guys, today what we're going to do is a quick tabletop review of the Sig Sauer P229 Classic Carry Talo Edition. If you're not familiar with the Talo Edition, it is basically a company that will go to major manufacturers and they'll have the companies produce guns in particular colors, or they will produce the guns in particular colors and then finish it off with custom-made slides, parts, Cerakoting, grips, etc. What's really cool about the Talo Edition pistols and rifles is that you really don't pay much more than you do for just the standard retail price on the gun, sometimes 50 to 75 bucks more for something that's kind of unique, and I like that. The first thing we want to do is check the firearm and ensure that it is in fact unloaded, and it is. Okay, magazine's empty, we're good to go. There we go. Man, where do we start with a cool pistol like this? What do you need to know? Well, I purchased this pistol basically as a replacement for my Taurus PT111 Millennium G2, which I recently sold. I absolutely love that pistol, but I wanted to raise some funds to put towards this pistol. I was just kind of upgrading. And, you know, while you're only looking at a 13+1 capacity in this pistol, there's a lot of neat features about it that really drew me towards it. One of them was the price. That was a huge part of it. I did pay $700 for this pistol, and if you look around online, you can in fact find them for that price. Let's go ahead and get the basic specifications out to you first, and we'll talk about what it is about this pistol that makes it different from, say, a standard 229 or an old 228, etc. You're looking at a weight of 32 ounces. It is fairly significant. It is all metal. Okay, it's an all metal gun. Barrel length is 3.9 inches. And I'm not sure exactly if it's a cold hammer forged barrel or exactly what the rate of twist is, but the coating is very durable. I just ran about 200 rounds through it at the range, and it ran really good. Overall length is 7.1 inches. The height is 5.25 inches. That's from the top of the sights to the bottom of the magazine well. And again, like I said, your price is around $700. Now that's going to vary. If you look around online, these are starting to creep up in price a little bit as the numbers of them start to go down, because the Talo run pistols, they are, I'm not going to sit here and say they're a numbered limited edition, but they're not exactly in regular full production as a regular Sig Sauer model. So basically, we have a new production firearm, which is running on the previous generation 228, 229 chassis. It's not a 229-1 chassis for those of you that are SIG experts out there. So when you're running the previous generation 228 chassis, you do not have a rail, and you have more of a rounded trigger guard, and it's a little bit different. It does have a short reset trigger on it. And then as for the slide, it's a little bit different here. What it is at one point, or you can still do this actually, you can order the Sig Sauer Elite slide and put that on your previous generation 228s and 229s. And this basically already comes with that. So instead of going with the old school retro slide to match the retro bottom, Sig just automatically outfitted these with the 229 Elite slides. You do have some custom Cerakote logo going on the top here, the Sig logo. I suppose we could just go ahead and go front to back and talk about the pistol and see what you need to know. Now, it is just an alloy finish frame on the bottom, or an alloy frame on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what the finish is. It's just blackened. I don't know if it's not blued. It's not the nitron finish. It's almost like it's painted, possibly. It could possibly be Cerakote. I'm not 100% sure. But when it comes to the slide is steel, and the slide does have the nitron finish. The nitron is what they call it, finish. Now also, you've got the Sig sights on the top, which are really good. I didn't know if I was going to like those initially when I took it to the range. Like I said, I've already put a couple hundred rounds through it, and the pistol performed flawlessly. The sights are fine. You know, I'm used to a more defined white dot. I've only had one other pistol with night sights on it before, so these can be maybe a little bit dim, but they do work really well, and I had very little trouble putting shots on target. If you look in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, you can check out how it actually performed at the range. I was just shooting at a silhouette from 5, 10, 15, and 20 yards, and unfortunately I had a tendency to pull low and to the left as I was shooting. But again, I was just getting used to the pistol. Those were literally the first rounds that I put through the gun at the range, and it did perform great. It was not bad at all. Now again, as we kind of go through the whole pistol, we talk about the short reset trigger. Let's go ahead and give you an example of what we're talking about. You're looking at we're looking at a 10-pound double action pull, okay? First shot, double action pull. If you wanted to, obviously, as you know, once you chamber that first round, your hammer's going to be back. You do have a decocker on it, which is really nice. That's one of the things I like about it, the fact I can keep it basically ready to go, not have to worry about a safety, keep it in my holster when I'm at the range. So if I had to draw and shoot for whatever reason, I wouldn't have to worry about fiddling with the safety. I know with enough training you can get past that, and it's usually not an issue for most people. So again, 10-pound double action trigger pull. Check the reset. It goes out a little ways and will click. But there's still some give. It's kind of funny because it'll click, but as soon as you pull back, there's even less resistance. So it almost goes all the way to the rear of the trigger guard where your grip is, and then it breaks. Very smooth, very crisp, very defined wall. Makes it really easy for you to get a feel for the trigger. By the end of the time I was done at the range yesterday, I was there for a couple hours. I was, you know, easily just no problems at all pegging the targets I was shooting at, getting more comfortable with double taps and so on. So it is very, very comfortable, very low recoil. When you take the gun apart, you've got just your traditional 226, 228, 229 style barrel, recoil spring, and so on. Nothing real crazy. Very easy to service if you need to. Disassembly is a piece of cake. You just lock back the slide, put down this takedown lever, release the slide, and the slide comes right off. Other features about it that I really enjoy, I would definitely have to say the grips are awesome. They're a G10 grip. It's kind of funky. It's almost like it's a raw fiberglass. It's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like it's an unfinished look on the back. It has these stripes going down it, but you've got some really good texturing, real aggressive texturing on the rear. It really bites into your hand good while you're shooting it. And again, I had no trouble handling the pistol. I can get a good purchase on it. I would say the grip size is pretty comparable to a Glock 19. I think you probably have a little more mass than a Glock 19. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but again, perceived recoil is very low on a full metal pistol like this. In fact, the recoil impulse and the way that it shot with the hammer, it was very reminiscent of my Taurus PT92 or any basically Beretta M92 for that matter. If you've ever fired one, you already have a basic idea as to what it's all about. So again, limitations to the pistol, something you're going to run into. 13 round magazines. You do have the previous generation. I like to call it M11 style frame. Okay, previous gen 228 frame, which does limit you to 13 rounds. But I believe you can get previous gen 15 round magazines, but they will not be flush with the grip, and they will stick out of the bottom. I'm not sure if there's anybody that makes an additional pinky rest for that you can go with, but 13+1, I'm happy with that. I know there's no substitution for capacity, but it is a very comfortable pistol to carry. It does have a really good balance to it. You know, it's slightly top heavy, but it does definitely assist with the recoil. Again, just an absolute joy to shoot at the range. No problems whatsoever. I did fire a 115 grain Remington UMC round through, which is not my favorite ammunition, but I got a bunch of it sitting around, so I thought I'd go ahead and run that. Ran it just fine. I also ran some Federal 115 grain aluminum case ammunition, and it had no trouble running that. That's your Federal Champion. That stuff tends to feed in just about anything that I own. I've really never had any issues with that kind of ammo. But overall, just an absolutely fantastic pistol. The Sig night sights work really well. Obviously, the tritium filled, so they glow in the dark. Nice. I would say you're probably looking at about a 4.5, maybe 5 pound trigger pull when you go into that single action pull. No problems whatsoever. I mean, just really comfortable. So in the box, you do get a hard case with it, a nice hard case. You do get your usual manuals and guides. I got some free Lucas oil because Lucas oil is paired up with Sig Sauer. And let's see what else we got. Oh, you do get 3 13 round magazines if I hadn't mentioned that. So overall, just an absolutely stellar performer. I'm very happy with it. It's the first Sig I've ever purchased. It's the 6th or 7th I've actually tested on the channel before. I think this is number 7 if I'm not mistaken. And every time I take the Sigs to the range, it doesn't matter how old they are, how beat up they are. It doesn't matter the condition, they always seem to function well, and they always seem to be very accurate. Now, I'm going to give you some contact information right here in the video. And I did purchase this pistol from SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. SS Pawn has been a longtime supporter of my channel, and I'd like you guys to show them support too. Go ahead and give them a call. They will take care of all of your firearms needs. Go ahead and ask for Stan. Contact info is right there on the screen for you. And again, I paid a regular full retail price for the pistol. And if you look out there, you can still catch them for around $700 on Gun Broker, but there's places that are now starting to sell them around the $800 to $900 mark. And again, this is just December of 2017 when I'm making this video, and it's only been out for about 2 months. So I haven't really run into any major issues. I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what to do with the holster. I did find a Kydex holster that I think is going to work. It takes the non-rail 228 frame. And even though I've got the Elite slide on here, should work okay with that Kydex holster. I did find some soft holsters out there. Now, I haven't looked at some of the larger production companies yet. There's a few companies that don't offer a holster for it, so I'm kind of looking around. So if you guys have any suggestions for anybody that you know that makes an M11, a really good M11 holster inside the waistband and outside the waistband, please go ahead and put that in the comments of the video, and I'll definitely respond back to you guys. Yeah, I do need to get myself an outside the waistband holster too. I prefer that when I'm at the range, even though I also have another concealed carry pistol on me too while I'm out there. So you can never have enough firearms on you, especially when you're outside. So anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tabletop review. You got a chance to see the gun in action. I really had a fun time shooting it. Really cool pistol. I think it's an incredible value for the money. It's one of the least expensive all metal Sig Sauers on the market right now that you can get, aside from getting a used model. I know you can get some older 226s and 40 cal. I've seen them, kind of dropping down to about the $650, $700 range. And when it comes to retail prices, it's just all relevant because one place might have lower prices than some other places. Just kind of depends on where you're going through and where you live. So anyway, guys, I will be doing the dot torture test with this thing. If you haven't checked it out on my channel, I recently did the dot torture test by my buddy Ghost Tactical, who created it. And I took my Smith & Wesson SD9 out there and just ran that through the dot torture test. I want to try this now. It might be kind of complicated because with that heavy double action trigger pull, I was not as accurate as I wanted to be doing the double action pull. When you're pulling a 10-pound trigger and you don't practice with it enough, your accuracy can at times dwindle. I mean, it does happen. It did happen to me a couple times when I was out there, but overall, very straight shooter. I'm confident with it. I enjoy using it, and I can't speak highly enough about it. If I had problems with it, you guys would find out. I'm not afraid to tell you on this channel. So anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you liked what you saw. Please like or subscribe. You can check me out over on Facebook and Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. I've got all that contact info in the bottom of the video. You can also check me out over on gunchannels.com. So if you don't have a membership yet, you need to get over to gunchannels.com and get yourself signed up. I've got a Saturday morning podcast called Caliber Corner where we do all sorts of live discussion, and we talk about all things firearms related. Otherwise, guys, I think that's about it. So we'll be bringing you more videos with this pistol in it and more firearms down the road. And guys, I think that's pretty much it. So I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.